I am homeless and the threatening that I would eat breakfast. Well, I am overweight and under height, and so I have time, but I don't really have the mind for making a breakfast drink, like a smoothie or something, if that would be enough. Yeah. So I was saying to myself, I need a gallon of milk, fresh. I need some fruit, sugar, and a blender. I need to make a smoothie. But right now I'm not using a real kitchen because the property in dispute is hopeless. You're on the outside exterior of the front door locking with all of my omnipotence that it is for me to be deceased out of formed. And a part of me is deceased permanently, everlasting, out of being mutilated genitals on the Godhead. So, what did I say before? Genitals on the Godhead are deceased. Yes, but now it's disclosure. Mutilated genitals on the Godhead are deceased out of my order. And that's what's keeping you out of the front door right now. I'm not confident. I am not alive. Last night there was a delivery of Smith's supermarket food. And I heard the first drop, if you will, of food outside the front door. I guess I heard it through the door, window, wall, like sound of something sat down on the tile floor outside and a plastic bag and stuff. So I opened the door to look to see if the delivery was there because I was expecting it, yesterday. And it was some part of it on the floor, on the tile floor outside. So I waited for that person to return. There was no one there at the time I opened the door. I waited for the person who dropped that food to return with more food. And the second drop, the person walked in through the front door, was open by myself for myself and for the food itself. And she walked right in. And she put the food down inside the front door. So, how did she walk out? She walked past the keys were hanging right at the door. I leave them right at the door because I'm not hiding that I have the keys. Do you want them? You can have them, but if you take those keys, you owe me that you give me keys to someplace else. So technically, you wouldn't do that until after you've given me keys to someplace else. And I've said that I accept the offer. But this apartment is due locked up empty because it is in disrepair. It needs nothing really. The flooring here is in disrepair. And then it has some other problems and it shrunk. So nobody moves in here because the apartment shrunk. And it's most likely that I would not move into a new house at this time. But that's how I can say that you owe me a new house and that I do not accept the offer. So how did the female delivery agent from Smith Supermarket How did she leave? She walked past the keys and she left the food on the floor. And then she came back and made another drop. And she came right inside the door again. And she doesn't belong in here, but she's female and she left the food inside the door. The food does belong inside the door locking, and she belongs on the outside. The food was where it belonged. It was inside, but it was on the floor. I would not put it on the floor in here because it's been flooded. I've been 911 removed from an apartment that flooded. Yeah. I don't know. 911's not coming for this apartment this time. Apartment 36 had a flooding of a hot water heater and it soaked the carpeting. Um, it was 911 removed at another time. I was removed, yes, at another time. They did replace the hot water heater and I lived with it, but I was eventually removed by police. So that was Ogden Pines Apartments building. The flooding was when? Uh, well, the removal was year 2011. The police were late, but at least they said no. But here we are. It flooded in this apartment, and the police did not remove me out of here. But I don't think I have a life that way, or it would have been done by now. You don't know where to put somebody you removed out of a property in dispute because you don't understand what a property in dispute is. It means you're not allowed in here for any reason. And me, I'm not allowed in here if that's what you think, but you shouldn't be thinking about me. If you think a property's in dispute, you shouldn't think about me. I'm the reason the property's in dispute, and you're due outside homeless. You have illegal genitals disputing property you don't alive with yourself. I had the door open last night while I was putting away the food because I didn't want to close the door behind the Smith's delivery. I didn't want to lock it behind that she left because I'm not saying get out. I want her to withdraw that she's finished, right, with the delivery. And then it got cold in here. Yeah, it was cold air in here. I still feel the chill in the air. Well, I need the sunlight of the like noon hour to warm up the apartment. Well, I would like to open the door and let the sunlight warm air in, but I have to have God's blessing because I am missing the cake. I ordered a red velvet cake and it did not arrive, and we think there's something about the neighbor blackmail adultery with two small dogs. And they were outside on the rocks right outside this front door, and they are not my dogs. Well, they're animals that belong in a zoo, but if the blackmail adultery person who is walking with the dog, if he comes around the front door again, I need the door closed because I don't want to talk to him. I don't know why he's around here, I need the yellow tape to be cording off the walkway on either side of this apartment so that you don't walk past this apartment front door going to an exit out of the gate. I don't care if you're inside the gate. Yes, you're outside the gate is due. So don't walk by the front door and give me any stress. If I open the front door, that's because I don't afford the electricity. I need the sunlight, and that's due. If the sun is out, that's my sunlight. It's not your sidewalk. It's your time outside, homeless, outside the gate, homeless. If you're not myself, you are homeless. Very, very, very homeless. Because I am homeless is waiting for you. I'm done.